is there any harder tournament than the Euro in the world?
No, I would definitely go for the Euro. I mean, especially now.
We don't have any weak spot in our national team, honestly. Like,
I need two numbers. What's the scoreline going to be in between Serbia and Montenegro?
Ball across to Dylan. He double in flight. Oh, what a start!
Into the net.
She does it again.
Yes, Van Magdeburg are the champions of Europe. For something here. She has a game. Across the keeper. What a comeback!
And then finally we are back, and it's time to talk handball again, everybody. And well, I'm glad that you guys are back, and we have been great already yesterday, and we remain all-time great. So yesterday there was Jovanka Radicevic, the new all-time top scorer of the EHF Champions League Women in the podcast. And today we are not shy of any excellence here because, well, what more is there to say about her? 2013, she became the World Handball Player of the Year. 2013, she won the Champions League. She has been around forever. She's a member of the very exclusive 1,000 plus goals club in the Champions League. And, well, she listens to the beautiful name of Andrea Lekic. How's it going?
Thank you very much. It's going pretty well now. I'm in the let's like resting mode. So looking forward to the upcoming Euro and like to talk with you.
Yeah, and I mean, yesterday, just like I said, we had with Jovanka Radicevic, the current all-time top scorer in the podcast. Kristina Neagu is in the hunt for that as well. It's only one goal in between them. Is that a record that you will be chasing as well?
No, I think they're pretty far from me. I mean, it's not going to be easy to catch them. I would rather chase this club trophy for this year. That will be my main goal.
So that's the ambition with FTC?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it has to be. I always say you have to have highest ambition if you want to achieve something in your career or life. Doesn't matter. But I mean, it's a great honor being in the top three players, like reaching over 1,000 goals. I think sometimes we are completely not aware what we are achieving through this beautiful sport. But like listening to you and knowing how much we worked for it, it's really, truly a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is a blessing watching you play. But enough of the flowers. Let's get to talk here. Now that we are just starting with the EHF Euro, maybe we have a minute to talk about you, your season, and your winter now, because I feel like everybody is gone in your club, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, everyone is gone, but still I don't have a Christmas sweater. I just realized that looking at you. So I need to get ready. Exactly.
That one's on you. That one's on you.
Everyone, really. We are like 5 now left. We are joking, not the oldest, but the most experienced one. So we are now having a few days off, and then again we are starting to build up the base for the upcoming January matches. But the season is really going well until now. Only one defeat in the Champions League. With basically a huge part of our squad is we got like 4 new players, and it's not easy to fit them in, but we are having some good matches behind us, and as I said, 7 victories, 1 defeat. It really sounds good.
Yeah, and I mean, I just came back from Budapest. I've been there last week, and I checked. The MVM Dome is still standing. So the last time that you guys have been there, well, they didn't tear it down with the 20,000 people that were in there. But that is an ambition to fight for this year.
I mean, as you said, that was one of the most beautiful moments in my career, and I truly believe that we are going to be there again, and I hope, of course. But that was a memorable moment. I mean, being a part of such numbers of spectators, and as you remember, it was a green fan base. So I really hope we are gonna see that again, so to break some new records.
Alrighty, we will see how that one will go, but until then, we have a little competition to talk about here as well. It is the Euro that is coming up, the EHF Euro on the women's side. That is being held in Austria, Hungary, and Switzerland this year. And we will follow along the European Championship. We are going to do that with 5 or 6 podcasts throughout the entire tournament. And then when it comes down to the final weekend, we are having a live show. If you guys have been around for the past EHF Final Fours in Cologne and in Budapest, then you guys know what we're doing. So we will be streaming live on YouTube and Instagram. But if you guys follow us along, then you won't miss any action. And there will be a live call from the media, a live podcast from the media call as well. That's always the shows that I enjoy the most. And you will be around for that one as well, right?
Yeah. Hopefully I should be there with you, and I'm gonna also be in some kind of new role to see how this looks like from the other side, being close to them but not participating, enjoying to see that faces when no one wants to predict anything about the future matches. So looking forward to some interest.
It's always great because they happen between the semifinals and the finals. So that one will be on Saturday. I think it's the 14th of December. How does it feel from a player's perspective to be in that media call when you would be playing the final the next day?
I mean, I think this depends a lot on experience, It helps a lot in these kind of situations. If you have already been through these kind of moments, it's really easy somehow. It's pretty cool also. When you know that you're working basically for our sport in that way, the media is one of the most important parts to make our sport bigger, So thinking about that and thinking about how important is this to be visible in today's, let's say, platforms, I think that everyone should enjoy these kind of moments. I mean, imagining they are going to interview because you're playing for like a bronze or medal or like a gold match. So it's just beautiful to be there. So I do think that we are going to see a lot of smiling faces there, but of course that the predictions are going to be, as always we say, like 50-50. So it's going to be interesting,
that is true. And on the other side, I do feel like that's Saturday before the final because, during the Euro, you are always in your rhythm where you play or train almost every day. But that Saturday before the final, does it feel a little bit like back in the days Christmas when I'm looking down myself, when you're just waiting for the final day to come and you just can't wait to step on the court for the final day again?
It is, of course. There are some anxious moments. It's completely also normal. But I mean, me and you, we can be in a Christmas weather, so we could help them a bit more to chill and relax before this kind of matches. But it's like a chaos before the storm. It's like a few moments and then it comes a completely, let's say, tornado. It's gonna be on Sunday. So still, it's the most beautiful moments of the sport because you know that you're there in the top 4 teams in the Europe.
And if we are talking about that weekend already, then let's hear what you think. Who's going to play that final? Who's going to be in those shoes where they are going to be super nervous?
I think we would all love to have some new teams in these top 4 teams. I think it's good for handball and for also younger players to step up in their, let's say, upcoming matches. But I do think France should be there among and Norway, as I think everyone would predict this. I would love to also to see Sweden interfering in these matches, and then also I would love for Hungary to somehow as a host team to make a great result, because women's handball in Hungary is huge.
Absolutely. I mean, you are the best person to talk with us about it, because you have been around everywhere and you experienced handball basically throughout all of Europe, or all of Eastern Europe at least. Why is it so special in Hungary?
I mean, they're working a lot on development of the young players, so they're having a lot of academies. So Hungarian National Federation is working a lot as also a state. They are helping a lot in this most important phase, how to develop young players on all possible fields. So we are talking a lot how important is this for our sport to have a new big faces upcoming in next years. So I do think that that's the thing, and it's sort of a religion. If you think like handball in Hungary, especially women's handball, it's so popular for like decades, and that's why it's just sort of the tradition. They enjoy the sport, they love the speed, they love the excitement, and it's just beautiful to play handball there.
We will dig a little deeper into that with our guest that is just upcoming. It's a teammate of yours, Beatrice Edwige, and I am looking forward to that. But in the meantime, we are already in the predicting game here, predicting the final here. You went for France against Norway. I do agree on that, so I do think that will be the final. Yesterday we heard some different ones, so Anna is No, I think it's Victor who said it's Denmark time. So he says Denmark will take home the trophy. So we'll see how that will end
That
up.
would be also nice. That's like I say. I mean, Sweden, Denmark. They're like we have now 6 teams. We are somewhere there. Still, by everything what they
Yeah.
did until and so far, then like Norway and France are having a small advantage comparing to the others. But it's going to be interesting from many points of view. We will discuss, of course, later because the teams are also changing their squads. On this Euro, we have some new faces, younger players coming in, and so we are going to see how they will fit during the championship.
Absolutely. And if you guys want to join the predicting fun, then you should join our Lekic The Spin in the Home of Handball app in the match predictor powered by Gorenje, because we are opening a league together with you as a community, and there is stuff to win. The winner who beats Andrea, who beats Victor, who beats me, who beats Anna Gross, who beats Martin Wilstrup, who beats the Beletage of modern handball, gets an official match ball signed by the team of your choice. So make sure to drop in the Home of Handball app and play against us in the match predictor powered by Gorenje. But yeah, let's talk a little more about the Euro in general as a tournament. So you have been around for quite some time. You are not playing any longer for the national team, but still you experienced a lot of European championships. What is your first and what is your last memory of the Euro?
I mean, my first memory, of course, it was Sweden. That was my first Euro, and 2006. There really as a beginner, like with 19 years old. I mean, hard to explain the level of stress and somehow expectations which you put on yourself, because no one is having any high expectation from a 19 years old player. And it was beautiful, but it was also somehow a hard moment because in those years we have split like Serbia and Montenegro, so at the end we didn't have a full squad there. So that's why younger players got a really huge role on this championship. And for me it was very important to feel what does it mean to play against such amazing players. And also the atmosphere when you're young in those ages, for the first time you're experiencing like all teams in like 8 teams in one hotel, and that's for you like as a young player, wow, so many players that you look every day on TV, you follow their matches, and then you have suddenly opportunity to be next to them day by day. So for me it was unforgettable, and but definitely memory will stay like 2012 playing on home court Serbia, and I mean nothing beats that feeling playing in on like in the front of like thousands of fans, and we were enjoying. Unfortunately, we lost against Hungary, the match against for the third place, but still, it was the year which showed us exactly how much we are able to do in upcoming years. So those are the years which I will always remember.
And which one was the last Euro memory that you have in your mind?
I didn't have that good memory because I broke my Achilles in that moment. So it was pretty hard. That was the hardest night during the COVID. I mean, we were locked up in the room, so it somehow also I was struggling many years with that tendon, of course, but still that was the hardest one. But it's it's fine. Like this, it's normal really, and I mean, what is important that I stood up from there and still playing today pain free. So I always say, in one moment is pretty bad, in another moment is like brings you something completely unbelievable, and that's like you come to that stage that you're playing like pain free, and before that few years I was struggling. So everything comes for a reason, and in any case grateful for everything.
Yeah, and I mean, that is a sign, at first it belongs to the sport. So moments where you feel down are part of the sport as well, unfortunately. But they make the great moments feel even better. And this is what this tournament is about. It's about the ups and the downs. They are always close to each other. And are a sign for the level that we get to see just during November and December right now. And talking about the level, how is it compared to other tournaments? So is there any harder tournament than the Euro in the world?
No, I would definitely go for Euro. I mean, especially now with this system, it's going to be very interesting for all of us. We're going to follow up. We know that only 2 teams are going to progress from the group, so it's going to be very intense, and it's I'm really looking forward, and it's really hard competition. I mean, we always say that's the strongest competition in the world. So I think everyone is fully excited about the upcoming matches.
Yeah, so the system will be that we are having 6 groups by 4 teams each, and 2 will progress to the main round. And in the main round, you take the points from the group stage that you have against the team that is progressing with you. And the top 2 teams from the main round will progress to the semifinal. The third teams from Group 1 and Group 2 will play a 5th place match, and then we have a semifinal and a final, and in the end, a European champion. That will be...
I mean, I don't
Question
know.
mark?
I will. Norway is now coming without Nora. We will see how this gonna be. I think it's gonna be hard to predict, but I have to predict. Still, I will give a small advantage to France.
A small advantage to France, all right.
Really
Because
small.
I'm predicting France. Yeah.
You know why? Because I mean,
to win
they're
it
also
here as
coming
well.
with a new coach still in one way, so he's also gonna have a bigger responsibility. I mean, he was working a lot. We're gonna talk after with Olivier Krumboltz, the ex-coach of the national team. So I think, of course, he knows everything. But still, when you're a main coach, you're a main coach. Responsibility is just here.
Yeah, fair enough. But let's talk a little bit about your nation, about the Serbs, because you have been gone for quite some time now. But how close is still the connection to the national team?
I mean, when I think I left Serbia like almost 18 years ago. So in the meantime, many young players are developing, and I really didn't have time to follow up. And you don't have that much possibilities, as you know, as a professional athlete to follow everything. But I'm trying to. So exactly now they're playing tournament, as I know, in Croatia, and we are just also expecting some results to see in which kind of form they're going to arrive on Euro. And definitely Serbia is not bringing any good results lately, and we are desperately in a need to have of course we're not talking about quarterfinals and these kind of matches, but I think the first objective of the Serbian national team is go through the group. So to be in the first 2 teams which are going to qualify further for the main round. So I really wish them this to succeed. The group is extremely tough, and in this group I think maybe it's the toughest one when you look like the 4 teams which are somehow equal with the quality, somewhere there, I would say. So it's going to be extremely exciting. A lot of young players gaining experience through national team. So we will see. This is really hard to predict because we didn't play good. Like in last 4, 5, 6 years, we don't have any good results. So for us, it's definitely gonna be a huge success to go to a main round.
All right, and just yesterday we have been talking about with Jovanka about the group as well. Victor said that in all the other groups there's that one main strong team, then there is another second strong team that will probably follow through in the group. But in Group B, I think it is, with Romania, Montenegro, Serbia, and Czechia, there are no favorites.
No, there are no favorites. I was again like scanning the groups these days, and I was thinking like that's the group which is impossible to predict. So I can only express my wishes for the Serbian national team for like very good games, and especially it's gonna be very, very important how they're gonna open up the championship with Montenegro. As we know, it's a Balkan clash, we call it like that, but they are also let's say Montenegro, looking now how their squad looks like. I think they're better on the last now with the squad. People are coming back, some healthy players again in the squad. Gina, after the knee surgery, going to be able again to play for them. I think it's also a huge plus. So for me, Montenegro is having a good squad, but they're having a good new coach. So so we're gonna see Susan Lazovic, former player. So we're gonna see every team is having something new, or a number of young players, or they're having a new coach. So it's gonna be interesting.
Absolutely. And then it actually is time to introduce someone else here into the show as well. She has won some of the biggest trophies in the world. She is a world champion, Olympic champion, European champion. We finally have the Budapest squad aligned here, ladies and gentlemen. Beatrice Edwige, how's it going?
I'm fine, thank you. Hello.
Yeah, nice to see you. And I am stuck in between basically the center back and the line player. That's not a position where you would want to be in the Hungarian mafia here, right?
I know, but it's a cool mafia.
It looks like it.
We are not going to be pretentious too much, but it's the most important link.
It definitely is.
It's what the trainer said all the time.
Yeah. But we
Yeah,
have to say
fair enough.
something
How
very
would you-
cool hairstyle.
Yes.
You already asked me for 3 days. These are 3 days. You see that we all look better now.
Look at this. Thank you so much. At least it was cool for this.
Yeah, I mean, we can absolutely see that you guys are having a great connection here, so I don't need to ask a question about that. It's great that you are joining, but we don't want to talk too much about your current FTC season. We did open the talks with Andrea about it. I mean, there is a lot to talk about, but we might just invite you back after the Euro, because the Euro it is that we are talking about right now. And Beatrice, you are a perfect candidate to talk with about lifting the Euro trophy, because actually you did it once and you did it at home in your home country in France with
Yes.
France. So maybe talk us through your experience of that tournament. How was it to lift that Euro trophy?
It was amazing. Maybe one of my best experience in my life and in my career. So it was a tough competition for us. A lot of pressure on our shoulder. But I think now that we managed perfectly, to be honest, with the coach, with the players, and the audience was amazing during this period. So it was like I have also goosebumps when I think about this. So I hope and I expect for a lot of players to feel this kind of thing, because it's amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, the exact same goosebumps won't come back for France this year because it isn't played in France. But you guys don't have too bad chances. So especially if you're looking at the French squad right now, what's your emotions about France?
It was like opposite things sometimes. After like few years, I was so sad to not be there, and I think like now it's my first, like really honest, it's my first time that I have like really good emotion, that now I can watch some game and like brief about this. So now I really hope that they will win, and I really think that. Sorry for my Hungarian teammate that I really love, but yes, I hope France will win this championship this season. Really, I really hope.
Jan, I mean, you passed the baton at the line player position over to Sarah Buktid. At first, would you think, or what's your opinion on Sarah? Is she currently the best line player in the world?
In my opinion, no, at this time.
Mm-hmm.
I think
because you're still playing.
No, no, because I really think that Polita is like, it's amazing line player, really, and Carrie Brassett also. So if I have to pick, like in my way, two really good line player, I will pick now Carrie and Polita. But I am sure, like in the future, Sarah will be on this position. But now, at this period, with Brassett and Polita Fopa, I cannot put Sarah like of one of the best line players in the world, honestly.
Andrea, what's your opinion about that?
I mean, I would put her like a player who is really from like year to year showing her quality, and we know all that they are working very good in mats, and you can see the progress. But I also would put Fopa in front of her because I think she's more complete player. I would say like this. I like her way looking on handball as a line player, extremely smart, feeling the space amazingly, and also very quality defender. So In these
Yes.
ways, I would say like maybe better runner in both directions in these moments, but still having this kind of two-line players in one national team, it's outstanding.
Amazing.
And you know, you can
Really.
also really, depending of the tactic of the coach, you can really choose, you know, from match to match. They're different but both extremely good.
Extremely.
Yeah, and that is just one of those strong positions that the French squad has right now. So, well, I'm not gonna talk about all the names, but you have a very, very strong goalie duo in Nathalie Sacco and Laura Glozet, then Stellin Zeminko as the captain. So, is there any weak spot in the French squad that you can spot, Beatrice, or do you think that one might be title worthy?
We don't have any weak spot in our national team, honestly. Like, I think we have a team like really complete in each position. Like, I think in each position we have like 2 or 3 amazing player. Like, I will not speak about left wing because now at this time Valentini for me is the best wing in the world. But really, like, she's fast. She feel the game. She really know how to defend, and this is extremely important. Exactly. Never. This girl can play during a competition 9 times 1 hour. She's amazing, and I can say this for every girl in this national team. So at this time, we don't have any weak point in my point of view.
If I may add, what is
Fair enough.
interesting for the France national team, they don't have extremely dominant left-handed player. I mean, the player who will score 15 or who will, you know. But also Lena Granvaux was used in a really good way, let's say on the right back next to Flip. So for me, they're using their players on the right way. So as I completely agree, as you
Exact.
said. Yeah.
Still, you guys lost a friendly last Friday against Spain, but it was just a friendly. So, was that a bad sign for France, or was it a good sign because it's showing that you guys need to be spot on once the tournament is starting?
You know, France is so used to lost in friendly game before a competition.
I don't know if you do that because you're superstitious anymore. I saw the result and I was like, no, not again. And I mean, like, if they open the group again with a defeat or something happens, then you know that they're gonna win it.
Exactly. No, but it's like I don't have any memories that in friendly game before a competition that after this we won, that we were perfect in the friendly game. Most of the time we lost a lot of friendly game before a big competition. So I am not afraid, but one thing is good is that this defeat will really maybe wake up the girls. Like, okay, we are really good, but we can lose at any moment against every team. So I think this is a good, like, okay, watch out, girl, it can happen. So it's perfect, to be honest.
Okay, so might be a tactical loss that the French national
Exact.
team took there at the tournament, and they will be warned when it comes down to the duel against Spain now in the group. So
Exact.
so much about France, let's say, and let's just look over into, I think it's Group A with the Hungarian national team, because this is where you guys are playing. I've been talking with Andrea about the standings of women's handball in Hungary already. What's your impression of the national team? So it might actually end up being one to even annoy the big ones big time. So to even take a victory against the biggest teams in the world?
You know, it was like a big surprise when they won this friendly game against France the last time. So I don't know, but with a Hungarian team, it's all the time like a roller coaster feelings. Like, in my opinion, they did a really, really good Olympic tournament. They was at this to beat Sweden, or I don't remember, or even France. It was really close. So I have like a really good expectation for them mostly because it's a lot of my teammates. So I really hope and I wish for them that it will be a good competition. And maybe Andrea already said this, but we know how it's so important for the girl to be good in Hungary. This is for them like a big thing. Like, it's weird to say this because it's all the time a big thing for every player, for every nation. But I have this feeling that when you are a Hungarian player and you play at home, it's a big thing. So I really have a lot of expectation for them, and I really hope it will be an amazing tournament in Debrecen, really.
Yeah, I mean, at the Olympics in the quarterfinal against Sweden, they just lost it in overtime. There it
Exact.
ended up being a 36-32, but that sounds more clear than it actually was because it even went to overtime. But one of the players of the Hungary team that might stand out this tournament is Petra Simon. So one of your guys' teammates. She is in the center back position, and one new thing this Euro will be that the best young player powered by Lidl will be awarded. Is Petra Simon a contender for that trophy, or has she already won it?
I will let Andrea answer first because she's center back. So it's her position. It's her position.
It's really like first she won and she was the best Farley like for this award what she got it, and we were super excited. And it's always beautiful when you're next to a young middle back especially, and then you are looking at her like in her development in the last like year and a half. I would say we are in that period. She's just like getting better and better. So what I can see the difference now, the last year brought a lot of self-confidence to her. She got a huge space playing in Champions League in a very important moments. And as we all know, experience is not everything, but brings a lot of, let's say, security for yourself. And I mean, she got it. And I think also she's a huge contender, but it's also gonna, of course, going to be important how the team will play. So how the team will carry her and how she will carry the team in this Euro. And what is really good is that I really think that Hungary in the last, let's say, year and a half is having a good results. So for the girls, I think they're aware that they have this power and they have this unity to bring a great result to Hungary. And I think that's, self-confidence is not easy to gain, but when you finally get it, when you show some great performances in the past as they did, I think they're really on a good, let's say, track. So I really wish them an amazing tournament and to be memorable. And for sure, playing on home court it's something else. And let's hope that Petra and also like Vamos will take the team on the right track, because these two should be as a middle backs leading roles in this Euro.
Actually, what did Petra Simon learn from you, Andrea?
I mean, that's a question for her, I think, better. I mean, in the way how my game is based, in one way, it's like a tactical approach. In the way how, in these years, I mean, handball is really developing, as we all know, and we are witnessing that. But I think the game with a line player should be something where Petra is having a lot of space to improve a lot. She's definitely extremely strong one-on-one. So it's... let's say one of the best, definitely, and we are somehow secure when she's in that phase of attack, especially. But I think she can improve a lot. I mean, she's very young. We can just talk about the varieties in the game. Very young. Sometimes we are joking, and sometimes we just forget how young she is. There is a lot of expectations on her back, and sometimes we're like, okay, wait. I mean, she's very young. So I always say to a young player, all the mistakes are allowed. I mean, allow yourself to make a mistake. If you allow yourself to make a mistake, you will succeed. That's for me, I think that would be one of the most important advices to the young players. And what I like,
but I think
she dares. She's courageous. For a young player, she dares and courageous. And that's very important for every young player.
But I think one thing like Petra learned to Lekic is the rhythm. Because because Andrea has like, for me, this perfect rhythm. Like it's so, you never know when she will accelerate, when she will slow down the game. And I have this feeling that before Shimi met Andrea, she had this like fast play, like all the time, fast, like, but like all this young player like there. And I think with Andrea, yes, but I think with Andrea, she really learned like, okay, she's so fast, Shimi, but like, okay, sometimes she has to reduce this speed. And I think she, in my opinion, she really learned this with Andrea, you know, like how to calm down the game, how to, okay, now it's not my time to shoot because I'm a center back, you know, like, okay, I have to play for the other player because it's also her job to do this. So in my opinion, she learned a lot on this, Shimi, with Andrea, I think.
Thank you. And what I like is that in the we are all having dominant sides of the attack, let's say left or right. I think now she's developing, let's say, both sides of the attacking, let's say, attacking zones. Before she was going mostly to the stronger side, and now we are having a lot of opportunities also in the other side, but that's also a thing of a habit and a thing of a repetition. And definitely she is listening, and I think with the young player being like hungry to learn, to get more information is also a crucial part of development.
Beatrice, what kind of impression do you have from her in training sessions? So she has been around for like, 4 or 5 years in the youth competitions now, and has been getting all the attentions there. But still, do you feel like she is still willing to learn everything in training and just super dedicated?
Yes.
Or what's your impression?
Like Andrea say, she's like really like a player who she's listened a lot. Of course, sometimes like, okay, she's a teenager, so sometimes she's like, okay, I don't want to listen, but it's like, it's no, but to be honest, it's normal. She's 21, I think, or 20, Shimi. So like when you play with some player like Andrea and me or Juji, or like we are more than 35, like experienced player, let's say this, like this. Experienced player. It's also tough to all the time like, okay, listen, because we really want for her that she become an amazing player because we really believe on her. Like maybe sometimes we are a little bit too much with some advices, but with Shimi, what is so cool, like it's all the time, all the training, she's working, like she's like 100% every training, and this is amazing, and this is also really cool. So I really think that she's a player, like she really loves handball, but you can feel with Shimi how she loves this. I think the first time I met this young girl, it was in December, now this period that we are just 5 or 6 players, and the club decided to put Shimi with us. And when I saw her, this 1-against-1, this strong 1-against-1, I was like, okay, amazing. In my mind, it was like the only player I saw with this kind of 1-against-1, it was Tino of Tedal, like a strong 1-against-1, powerful, speed, and I was so impressed. And sometimes, you know, it's just like, okay, she's good, but let's see in 2 years how she will develop and blah, blah, blah. But with Shimi, it's like she continued to progress every year. Like, so we have like a good hope for this girl, really.
Just to stay healthy. We always say this is important with the young players to stay healthy in the upcoming years.
Exactly.
To learn how to take care of herself, because, you know, sometimes young body cannot stand almost everything. You know, if there is no enough experience, then the young body can be, you know, in a trouble. So that's also important. That's a learning part of the process. But yeah, but she has all the qualities to be a really good one. So you're gonna follow up her work for sure in the future.
For sure.
Yeah, most definitely. What was that nickname that you've been talking about? Chimi?
Yeah, we all call her Shimi.
Yes.
Where's that name coming from?
From Shimon.
We don't know.
Stepa? Yeah, fair enough. All good. Some nicknames they just exist. Actually, well, Beatrice, you are the perfect person to ask that question because well, you have been telling us about it that the Hungarians are a lot of your teammates, and well, you used to play in the French national team. out of 100 matches between Hungary and France, how many would Hungary win?
100.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to answer this question.
Well, you can answer it diplomatically.
I mean, since she is not playing, Hungary has bigger chances. Is it okay? I mean, I need.
Okay, no. Honestly, because I'm like, on 100, I think like, okay, 30 maybe.
30, right?
Yes, like, yes. Exactly. So, yes.
Yeah,
If you
no,
ask me this question, maybe in a few years, maybe I will say 50. But now at this time, if we have a friends with our perfect level, perfect squad, everyone is 100%, I think it could be tough for Hungary to beat France, really.
Absolutely. I mean, France is seen as the title favorites by many here as
Yes.
well. They will be competing against Norway for that spot in most heads. But another team that is to be mentioned here is Denmark. So they come in with a strong squad. Just to drop some names here with Annemette Hansen, you have Christina Jørgensen, and well, I will forget some names, that's why I'm stopping here. But Jesper Jensen actually took over only the duties for the national team. Could he be a success key, or could he be a key to the success for Denmark for the first title like in 22 years? Andrea, what do you think?
I mean, he's already showing up great results in since he took over Denmark. So for me, of course, that he could be the factor who can bring Denmark. He's already bringing Denmark some great results. Like, let's say, Olympic Games were outstanding for them. So, of course, that Denmark is in among the favorites in this Euro. That's completely. But interesting, he didn't take Sandra Toft. So he decided to replace a bit a goalkeeping duo. So that's also gonna be interesting. You know, of course, you have Reinhardt who is performing on a rare, amazing level. It's not a question, but that's also interesting move from him. You know. So, I mean, Sandra was carrying this national team in very important and crucial matches. So it's going to be interesting to see. Of course, they are all building the different vision for the upcoming years. So, yes, I do think that Denmark can have a great result on this championship.
What do you think, Beatrice?
You know, all the time I have like big expectation about this team. Like every competition, really. And all the time, I'm wondering when this title will arrive for them. Mm-hmm. Because we have this feeling that, like Andrea said, they have amazing player. But sometimes, you know, like, we have this feeling that something is like missing for winning. Like, they have this small issue, in my opinion, like issue, or I don't know, but like a miss, you know, like all the time that they cannot pass this, okay, we are in final or in semi-final, like it's our time, it's our moment, you know, to turn the thing. But I think that they will go like in the last four, for sure, in Vienna this season. But now, like, my question is like when they will be able to win a title, because this player in Denmark, they are amazing, like really, like a really good team, nothing to say. But now it's what is missing for them to win a big title now.
I mean, also maybe this Olympic medal could also influence on that. What I got after so many years, you know, they also did a great thing for the country. And maybe this medal could also, and they already brought important self-confidence for this upcoming Euro. We will see.
I'm interested in how the Netherlands are going to be stepping up here during this Euro. So with what confidence level they are coming up. I think it was the final back then that you guys won against Netherlands, actually. And well, you are playing together with Angela Malestein on the wing. So what's your impression of the Netherlands? Do they have a shot to go deep in the tournament?
I mean, I'm not. I don't know. Honestly, I will answer honestly. I don't know. Like on the Olympics, they didn't perform well. I mean, I know that they were very disappointed. Also, starting from Angela to the rest of the squad, they were really not satisfied. They changed the coach also. Now Henrik is there, so many teams are just coming with a completely changed squads or like having a new coaches, and it's so hard like to predict something. But I think they are for sure hungry. They have a huge reason to be motivated, and that's a championship next year in their home country. So we know that they're very popular there, but if they want to have a huge support and a huge fan base, and like if they want handball to live in Netherlands, then they should aim for a great result. So I really hope the best for them, but it's hard to predict because they didn't perform well in the last few years.
Exactly the same. But really, like, it's tough, like I just saw in Instagram that it was a tough loss against Norway this afternoon. So I don't know, to be honest. Like, I think it's the only team that it's like let's say random. It's tough for us to say something about Netherlands, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, interesting. But then maybe they're group guests and co-hosts of the upcoming World Championship, Germany. So we are in Group F right now. We have been talking about your teammates, Emily Bilk there as well, going back to Germany and willing to fight for something big. And for Germany, I do have the feeling that the curve is rather going up than going down. So the results, they are... they are proving that as well. So I think the last 3 World Championships were an 8th spot, a 7th spot, and a 6th spot. The last Euro, the last 2 Euros, they ended up in the 7th and in the 7th as well. So is there a chance for Germany to finally get back in touch with the absolute world class and the absolute peak of levels here? What do you think?
I mean, doesn't matter me or Bea, but in that way, I still don't think that they have a world-class performance. I didn't see this in last few years, like they were shining that much that I would say, okay, they are gonna be in a top 4. For me, they're still not close to these top 4 teams, like let's say, or semis. But I think they're having better and better results, as you said. I would completely agree with you, and that's also a young squad. We cannot also forget this. They are also building up for the next Olympic cycle. So I'm sure that Germany is fully motivated, and I think they were satisfied with the Olympic Games. For them, it was also a huge reward to be among the teams who were playing in Paris. So I think they are, let's say, very optimistic for this Euro. And they are not, what is interesting, they are one of the teams which are, let's say, stable. They are not changing the squad and they are not changing the coach. So basically, they are in the same system going, like, I believe, from championship to championship. So they are progressing, definitely. And that's a huge boost for a team. When you are having the same squad and the same coach, you know the system, you just, like, let it go.
Yeah, and I mean, the French, they did play Germany at the Olympics as well, like in almost every other sports as well. It was the semifinal on the men's, the quarterfinal on the men's side, the quarterfinal on the women's side. It was quarterfinal in volleyball as well. So Germany against France was
Everywhere.
the storyline of these Olympics. Most of the times with the better results for the French and as well in handball here as well. So yeah, when the French are facing Germany, would your knees start to shiver, Beatrice, or are you confident?
I think France will be, because of the result, I will say this, they will be confident, honestly. Yes, like, I really wish for Germany to have like a better result. I don't know if they can achieve like semi-final, but I hope for them that they will be close and more stable during all the competition. Because I have this feeling that, like, at the beginning, for me, they are amazing. But, like, game after game, I think, like, they start to be tired, or I don't know. So if I have one thing for them, it's like, if they succeed to be stable, I think maybe it could be a really good competition for them. I hope. And I hope for my teammates. To be honest, I hope like every team where I have teammates, it will be a good competition because we need them when they will come back.
We need them healthy and happy. That's very important.
Happy and happy. So like.
So we don't have to cheer them up, you know.
Exactly. Yes.
As the experienced players in the team, I mean that would be your task, I guess. All right, fair enough. But that's where I would say, Beatrice, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you so much
for your
Thank you.
opinions and for the talks. You did say it at the beginning, but just for the closing words, I need one clear prediction from you. Who's gonna win the EHF Euro 2024?
France.
That's a statement.
Easy.
That's a statement. Cool. Then we wish you the best of luck for that.
Thank you.
Enjoy the tournament. It will be a great one.
Thanks.
See you
Thank
soon.
you. Have a good day. See you soon.
Probably like
Bye.
Monday in training.
Yeah, like
Yes.
Great. Yeah, great. So you said see you soon. So when will that be? It will probably be within the next 2 days.
it's gonna be like next few days. You're gonna see each other soon.
Yeah.
With a fresh haircut.
Fair
So
enough.
at least we did something in these 3 days.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, we did have a little talks with Beatrice about the line players in the world right now. But talking with you, of course, we gotta have a look at the center backs here as well. During this tournament, what are the center backs that you will have an eye on? Who do you think will stand out?
Yeah, that's very hard. I mean, it's going to be pretty interesting. I think we have a upcoming centre back in a France national team, this Lena Granvaux. It's a very interesting player for me. I mean, she's of course playing a lot on middle back in that way in France, but she's using her minutes on a very, let's say, good way. So it's going to be interesting for me. I like to watch young players, and that's for me always one of the most interesting part in the upcoming Euro. But I would say, I don't know, you have like also now, let's say the leading center back is not playing anymore as Stine. He's not anymore on the scene in that way. We are going to see how the players in the region national team are going to function. Of course, because Henny is sometimes playing left, sometimes middle back. So, we cannot qualify her as a pure center back, as we all know. It's also during the Champions League matches is the same. So, but Dela is going to play there, and she's going to have a huge role also. So we're going to see how this is going to also look like. In France, we already have known the center backs, but we are looking already they're playing in the same level in already a few years. I mean, in Sweden we have Carlson and this kind of thing. So those are some of the center backs which are really probably going to be dominant in the upcoming matches.
Fair enough. I will have an eye on Petra Simon here as well. So
But this we already talked.
definitely...
I mean, I don't have to mention this. I do think, and what's interesting that what is really like one of her top qualities, even though she's young, she's playing good in a crucial moments, and that's for a center back is a huge quality.
But on the other hand, just like you said, as the young players, you gotta do those mistakes. So you grow when you're failing, even though it might hurt sometimes, that's the stages where a pro athlete.
No, it's gonna be painful.
Yeah.
We cannot avoid these moments, but these are the moments which are like really building you up. So you are forming yourself and you're shaping your game through these kind of moments, especially.
Absolutely. So the Euro is coming up. We are coming close to the end of our lookout for the Euro. It's gonna be an intense tournament. I'm highly looking forward to it. I'm highly looking forward to the shows that we will be doing together with Anna, with Victor, with Martin. That will be super fun. And I'm looking forward to play against you guys out there in our match predictor powered by Gorenje. So make sure to download the Home of Handball app. Well, there you join our league this spin, and then you compete against all of us. The winner, just as I said, wins a ball signed by the national team of your choice. And that is a great one here, actually. And we start off the predictions right here. So I am surprising you a little bit with that one. But of course, I'm going to give you the Serbian opening matchup to give your prediction. I need two numbers. What's the scoreline going to be in between Serbia and Montenegro?
Serbia-Montenegro, I will go 30-28 for Serbia.
All right, I think Jovanka actually went for a victory of Montenegro. But I mean, of course, he did. Yeah. Obviously, she did. I am gonna predict a second matchup here as well, because just yesterday I did have a prediction, but Germany, of course, we gotta predict their opening matchup as well. For me, holding up the German flag in this podcast, Germany against Ukraine, and I do think that both teams are starting low score, so a 26-21 for Germany and a solid start. But that would be something. And yeah, whenever the games are playing in the home of Handball Hub, you guys can vote the Grundfos player of the match as well. So from minute 45 until the very end of the match, you guys out there vote for your player of the match that will be awarded the MVP in the end. You guys can vote for the All-Star team and all that fun stuff. So make sure to download the Home of Handball app. And that will be a great tournament. How excited are you, Andrea?
Yeah, I'm super excited, especially when definitely I'm gonna be included in everything what handball is gonna bring in this Euro. It's even more interesting for me, because then I'm gonna follow all the matches. Sometimes we don't have time because we are also training in many of these moments when the matches are played. But now I think all our schedule is really good for the upcoming days, so I'm gonna have opportunity to watch I think majority of the matches, and cannot wait for the excitement.
Perfect. That sounds great. It is starting on Thursday, the 28th of September, 28th of November. We are going to see 3 games parallelly. So Hungary against Turkey, Spain against Portugal, and Austria against Slovakia are the opening 3 matchups, and they are going to be great. So make yourselves a blast this winter with the EHF Euro 2024 on the women's side, and we're looking forward to it, and make sure to tune in the next time again when it's time to talk handball again, everybody.
Ball across the Dylan. He double in flight. Oh, what a start.
Into the net.
She does it again.